Great. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Sorry for the last minute change, but let's jump in here. We're excited to be with you and talk about some quick wins, just before we come up on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So just to frame, my name is Jared LeDuc. I'm gonna talk about the framework of what we'll spend here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then Paul's gonna jump in with some great insights that he has. And then Erwin is going to follow up with some additional insights, and then we'll wrap it up. And like Paul said, if you have a question, just use the, it's called Conversations here in Teams. Just use that and ask a question. And with that, let's jump in. So if you could, Erwin, I'm going to let you intro when you go. So
okay, all right, go ahead, Jeremy.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So, but let's jump in with where we are today. As you know, I grabbed this from the Irish Times. As you know, everybody has moved online. And I want to talk about that very briefly just to show how significant that is. So if you could go to the next slide. What's very interesting here is not only, I think everybody knows at this point, right, that everybody, things have moved online. If you bought Amazon stock, you're obviously very excited about that. And but beyond that, other things have shifted too. And the real better happens to be in today's world, right, allowing them to move online, right? But that also means there's a couple things here. Go ahead and click the 2 more times. It's interesting because there's really 3 components of that I really wanted to make sure everybody sees here, and it's communicating with your customers differently, right? So and it's willing to adopt new technology, and it's selling more online. Those are the 3 components of a survey here that you see about what people feel has gotten better, right? So we just as we go through this, we just need to consider it's not just people moved online. People want a better experience, and we have to remember, I mean, it's an experience economy. And those are some of the things we're going to talk about here, is giving your customers a great experience. So the last thing I wanted to show is just how significant. I know it's never fun, charts aren't the most exciting thing, but this is an amazing chart. I mean, e-commerce was already accelerating, but they call this the great acceleration that we're in now. I mean, look at the growth that we predict now for e-commerce. I mean, that is so significant. I mean, it's gonna grow. They say by over 200% over the next few years as everybody has shifted online. So with that, Paul, I want to turn it back to you to go over some of your insights here.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. From abcommerce's view, how we're preparing for the next month, we wanted to make 5 points. We believe that it'd be wrong to wait for just Black Friday and Cyber Monday, because it may be too late then. We have a feeling that, especially with the lockdown that started a week ago, that Christmas sales have started. And we feel that Christmas sales is actually just going to be spread out through all of November and not just the end of November. And there's a fear amongst consumers that stock will sell out quickly. So that's why people are starting to already do their shopping now. Number 2, we think there might be less discounted products this year by the time it gets to end of November, as manufacturers have produced less stock this year due to COVID. Number 3, and this is one that we found over the years, is that we recommend to our clients for Black Friday to offer a good discount on a small set of products. In the first year or 2, people were putting 20% off all their products. And sure, they're just giving away their stock and giving away all their margin. But what we find is that you just pick a small set of products, give a good discount on them. Users will come to your site and they will buy your other products, as well as maybe having a look at those discounted products. And then you don't lose your margin. Number 4, we think this year it's all about promoting buy local and maybe promote buy now while stocks last. And number 5, we've already seen a big uplift in online sales just in the last week. So we feel that you should focus on your existing clients first, because there may be plenty within your existing client base to clear out your stock as you need. So the lockdown has made the online marketing online market much bigger for November than ever before. So there should be plenty of demand. So start with the easiest place, which is your existing customers. They bought from you before, they've had a good experience, they trust you, and that gives you a little bit of an upper hand on your competitors. And then the last thing I'd like to say is be prepared. So there's a very good blog on blog.abcommerce.com. Breege wrote it there. It's called Top Questions to Ask Yourself About Black Friday. She circulated it there about 2 weeks ago. It's a very good one, and she talks about all the different areas you need to consider for Black Friday. And she makes the point that you need to do up your campaign calendar and test out all of your, so the campaign calendar is that you put up a calendar saying these are the campaigns you're going to run over the next 4 weeks, and test that everything is ready. Make sure your gift vouchers are up there because that's what they sell a lot during Christmas. Promotions module, you can actually set up your promotions now and then forward date them so that they only start on certain dates. There's no reason why you couldn't set them up now, maybe put them on a one test product, turn them on for 10 minutes, turn them off, make sure everything's working. MailChimp integration, make sure that's working fine. Send yourself a test email, start setting up your emails in MailChimp and send them to yourself. Phone Ovation, make sure you have your account set up, start sending some test SMS text to yourself. Make sure your Google Shopping is up and running so that it runs itself when you get really busy. And there's a new Facebook feed that sits on top of Google Shopping. If you don't have that set up and you want to do that, feel free to contact us on that. Okay, I'm going to pass you over to Erwin now, and I'll let him take over from here.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Paul. It was really great information, listening all this for the first time, really. I want to talk about what you can do already with the eCommerce platform and with Magico and with Celebros here. So as my background, of course, as some of you know me already, at least from emails, you probably haven't seen me face to face yet. But now with the web meetings that are going on, this may actually happen pretty soon. So if you're wondering what you can do already now, it's like we're a few weeks out, or actually like as Paul has stated, the Christmas sales season has already started, it's starting in November. It's not just the end of November. And also, as you seen and heard and experienced yourself as a retailer, it is very important right now to be in top shape in terms of e-commerce. Most of you probably have our multi-channel retailers that also have brick and mortar stores. And of course, having a lockdown where you have to mandatory close your offline store is very painful, but there is something that you can do, which maybe 20 years ago, it wasn't possible, which is the e-commerce side of it. So you have here a way out, and maybe it's actually a good possibility to actually learn and to grow in this direction as well, because with e-commerce you can reach a lot more people than you can reach with your local physical store. So I want to talk about how to make your site search smarter, and secondly, the other one is to understand your customer's intent. And I want to add here, the search box in your site in an e-commerce store is basically your virtual salesperson. And if the salesperson doesn't know your catalog, doesn't know your inventory, it will not know where to, how to treat your customers that are coming in, your visitors. So a good salesperson would obviously show the right products to the customers, to the visitors. So the number 3, using machine learning and AI for better customer experience. I'm going to talk about that. 4, use visual merchandising to highlight your promotions. And lastly, automate landing pages for Google. So this is something really exciting as well, which may be something that you may want to take a look at regardless of Black Friday. So having a smart search, or like the title says, make your site search smarter, it makes you look smart in front of your customers, in front of your visitors. If you have a smart store, which is quite crucial in these days of Google and natural language processing, because the more precise a customer, a visitor is phrasing their product search, the more likely they are to make a purchase. So again, I repeat, the more precise, the more precise they're describing their product that they're looking for, the more likely they are to make a purchase. So we have to treat these type of visitors really like VIPs, roll out the red carpet. because they really have the intent to make a purchase, and you have to be able to trust your site search on your site to actually return and deliver precise results. As we have seen here, an example. Of course, this example can be translated into any vertical, if it's like fashion, if it's tools, or whatever vertical you're in. It works great. And of course, pharmacies, which we have seen a few. So the next one is understanding your customer's intent. And not sure how many times you have come across a site where you put in a simple phrase, like in this case, table, and then you get results like this. Because just simply the search does not really know what you mean when you search for tables. It doesn't know your intent. But then as a customer, or many customers, they just either start scrolling down and go to the next page until they finally give up, or they don't go to 100 pages or 50 pages. They just leave the store eventually. And this is what we call a big no-no for search users. So what we are recommending is using a virtual salesperson, using a site search on your site that is understanding your customer's intent. And search is something very complex. Of course, for the human brain, it's something very simple. You understand language, you understand human language, but now you are expecting from a machine, from a code, to actually understand what you mean. And this is where it becomes really complicated. And this, I believe, that abcommerce has here a great solution with Celebros as a partner to bring this to the forefront and accelerate your store in this area as well. Because the search link is one of the, or not, if not oftentimes the most frequently visited link on your site. So here, just to top it off, another example also for our second topic is when customers, I call them visitors, because customers, they are only customers once they find a product, once they make a purchase, then they are your customers. Up until then, they're just visitors. So when your visitors search for something complex, again, like in this case, red t-shirts in size M on sale, they want reduced items on clearance. They want t-shirts that are coming color red, and they are available in size medium. So a regular search would return you all kinds of items, which would clog up your search results page. Your customers, as I said, may easily get distracted or frustrated or just run out of time, and they are leaving the store empty-handed. So this is something that you can avoid and you should avoid at all costs. Doesn't matter. This point number 3 is machine learning. So we talked up until now about search. Having a good search is great, but then if the search is just a static code, it's just half as good. What makes a huge difference is machine learning and AI. So the artificial intelligence complements human intelligence, right? So of course, human intelligence is always going to be better than artificial intelligence, but together, both together is something that makes it even greater, especially in e-commerce, because e-commerce is all just code. People interact with a piece of computer sitting in front of them or a mobile device. So on the top left, just to explain these 2 screenshots that you're seeing, on the top left, searching for TVs, you get great, all just TVs, no TV cables, no TV desks, just TVs. However, the first items are quite boring. They're just pretty much the same brand, same, like there's nothing really exciting for to see if you search for TVs. But then with machine learning and AI turned on and activated, the same search for TVs now returns much more exciting products and more relevant products. So you cannot say that the top left screen that you see is wrong. It's still okay, but it's not the best. So you get my point. Point number 4, talking about merchandising. Merchandising, not sure how familiar you are with this term in the e-commerce world. It's quite familiar. It's quite important. It's basically your in-store marketing. You can imagine it's like marketing, how important it is to market your store in general, your brand. But then you have also marketing that you can do within your store. So it's like similar what Google is doing with these paid ads and paid ads. When you search for something on Google, you always have the first 2-3 lines, the results that are kind of like an ad. Same thing here. You can, for specific search terms, any search term, you can just promote your favorite products to push them to the top of the page, and you can promote unlimited amount of products, so not only 3 or 4. And you can also dictate the order of those products that you have promoted. And on top of that, you also have the ability to promote the entire brand. Let's say if you want to promote now for running shoes, you want to promote a certain brand, you can do that as well. So, or color or size or category. Basically any product group that you have, you can promote that dynamically for any search. And then we get to our last point, which is automate landing pages for Google. So this is something that goes beyond just site search, but we are using site search and you're using your intelligent search to artificially create landing pages based on the knowledge that we gathered from your visitors and customers that have been searching on your site. So now we are taking those phrases that they have searched, like Nike running shoes, or here in this case, blue Sanderson paint, right? So this is when you go to Google right now and search for blue Sanderson paint, you will see that one of the first results that you're getting is from a store called Style Library, and the link that you see there is a search link. So you ask, how can that be? Google actually doesn't index dynamic pages; they only index static pages. So how come I'm getting search results pages in Google? And this is exactly what you can do, and you should do in order to get more traffic into your site. So now you can convert your top search queries into static landing pages. You can populate them with meta description keywords, and then Google will index those pages, and now they become not anymore dynamic but static pages. But within those landing pages, of course, the search results are getting updated automatically to make sure that it's the right inventory that you have in stock. So this is a great way to reach out to the world and to gather organically, and these are organic search results that you're seeing here, and to attract more visitors into your shop. If you have more visitors, of course, you have typically also more revenue, and if you have more revenue, you have, again, more resources to invest in additional technologies and to grow your store over time. So this would be my 5 advice, my 5 tips that I can share with you. And I want to also not leave you with just theory. I want to actually show you also the results, because talking about revenue and conversion rate increase and how important this is or how important that is, it's all just words if you cannot back it up with numbers. And these numbers that you see here are actually taken from Google Analytics. So it's not some self-manufactured or generated numbers. So what you see right now is the analytics from one of the sites that have implemented Celebros, and they have increased their site search conversion rate, what you see on here, by 70% in comparison to the previous year. And we are looking at here in January 2019 to July or August 2020. So this is a long-term study that we have done. So the customer went live in January, beginning of January, and basically 20 months study. When you compare these 20 months with the smart search, comparing to the previous 20 months, the site search conversion rate has increased by 70%, the revenue by 170%, the sessions, of course, has increased as well, because now the search is more reliable and trusted by your customers. Here's the ratio between site search users and non-site search users, how much in the revenue they have generated conversion rate, site search users versus non-site search users. Here you have a breakdown of your top 500 searched products and the amount of revenue that brought in each product. And here the top 500 search terms. Here, just a raw data from Google as well. So this is after the first 30 days. So this is a fairly short-term study. After 30 days, this site has increased their overall transactions by 97%, revenue by almost, about the same. And when you look at the ratio between the visits without site search and visits with site search, you could see how the store has disproportionately has grown through its site search users, which is quite remarkable. And it's also explainable because now the store, you could say it would grow anyways, even without a smart search, it would grow about 25%, right? But now having a smarter search, so it grew with about 180% just the search users. So this is a quite significant jump in revenue just because of using a better salesperson in your e-commerce store. That would be all. In a nutshell, I pass it back on to Jeremy or Paul to take
perfect.
it from here. It's open for questioning.
Thanks, Erwin. Guys, Paul and Erwin, those are really, really good points. They really are. So thank you so much for that. We do have a question. If you could go, Erwin, could you go back a few slides to the the Google about Google, and just kind of go back over. I mean, this is powerful. We get this every time, Erwin. We always get the question. Wait a minute, are you saying that pages are showing up organically in Google? So could you go over that one more time?
Yes. So the way it has been set up, it's pretty much automated. We take your top performing search terms that are not your category pages, so we don't want to create duplicate content, right? So you probably have heard that term. It's a big no for Google to use duplicate content. So what we are doing is creating out of your top performing search queries, which could be like anything. In this case, you see blue centers and paint. So it's a color, a brand, and a product. And then you have hundreds of them. Just imagine you can now create automatically hundreds of these type of quote unquote categories. And you just have to artificially populate them with meta keywords and description to make it unique, and then to let Google index them. So you add that to your site, to your pages, and Google will do the rest and index them. And so when someone goes to Google and searches for a product, there's a higher chance that one of your artificially created search link will show up in Google search results page. And then when they click on it, which is a great part, once they click on it, it's a perfect match, because then you will see right away the perfect products that they were looking for in Google. So I hope this clarified a little bit more.
Let's unpack that just for one more minute. So when you say create the web page, there's an actual web page that exists, right, with these keywords on it. How did that web page actually get created so that Google could come and find it?
Yes, that web page is being created in the Celebros servers, and it's fully started. It's a real page which links into your store, and that web page can be hosted anywhere. And it's just looks like your category page for the user. It looks exactly like your store. It has the same link. It just it's indexable by Google.
Could you show us, Erwin, how would you do that on the abcommerce platform? How would you add those pages?
These pages would be added on any platform, but with abcommerce, I think it would be much easier as well, because the majority of the work is once they are activated, we determine how many search terms to use and which ones, if it's the top 500 or top 50 search terms, and then we filter out the ones that we don't want to be created. And the integration part is just linking those pages and adding them to your sitemap.
Is that done? Do we have to do that manually?
Once. You have to do it once manually per site, and then it's updated. The number of pages can be then updated individual, like from day to day, or also the content within each page is being updated automatically every day.
It's very interesting. Well, okay. Listen, thanks very much, Erwin and Jeremy. It was a very interesting talk, and thanks everybody for attending. And I think we'll leave it at that for today. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks
you, everybody.
Everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. Paul, Breeze, thanks so much for setting this up. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.